So I'm Lynn. I specialize as the integration mentor hypnotherapist. Um, hmm, my specialty, my magic is really just helping people bring multiple things together to help them feel aligned and live authentically from their own imprinting and what feels real for them. I've drawing that upon my own experience traveling through, mental illness and mental wellness, and then my own personal experiences, getting to know who I am, and then applying that into business and who do I show up in a business aspect, who do I show up when I'm in service to other people, and so really helping them think outside of the boxes that we're put in, and then how do they really draw upon what's true and real for them and how they apply that in their life. So yes. Okay, so I've followed you for a while. We met in person back when you're living in South Australia. Um, I loved your style. I loved your authenticity. Really just the way you stood in your own individuality, and I really love that. It's something that I really admire in people. But in sense of working with you, it was just this real balance, a very harmonic thing. It was that balance between the different energies of polarity, and for me, that was really, really important. I was in a business mentorship, which is absolutely fantastic, but it was very structured, very masculine, that type of energy, which was great because it helped me to learn a lot of like the business things, because my background was in the health industry and I worked with people. So that was really great. But the reason why I wanted to work with you was because you had a really, like I said, a real balance between both of the ends of the spectrum of the energy. And it wasn't, one way, super feminine, just, throw everything to the wind and, see what sticks, catch and everything, but it was like, it was grounded, and it was also like for lack of a word, lack of a better word, it was like mystical, but it made sense. And I also really love the way you articulate, the way you speak, the way you give a lot of like well-rounded information, as well as like invoke the curiosity within me. Yeah. So yeah, that I don't know if that answers. That's like so I was looking for a way to be able to bring in the energetics to balance that out, because I was like, okay, well, this makes sense logically, but it needs to feel good for me. Like feeling is a very important aspect and experience of who I am as human, and there was a bit of that missing, or it was being played out, but just in a format that wasn't sparking me, and that's why I was drawn to work with you. Oh, okay. Well, first off, even in the very beginning, when I even said to you, like, I want to work with you, and I was like, okay. And I remember like even speaking to you beforehand in the call and everything. And I was like, yes, I'm like all in. And then there was a moment in time, I think it was probably about 24 to 48 hours afterwards, where I'm like, okay, I feel this immense pull, and I knew I had to do it. But then there was like my logical mind coming in going, but you have to work this around, you have the kids, you have this and that and everything. And then I felt this like energy shift within me, and I was like, oh, okay, is this too much? Like, is this too much of a stretch for me? But I'm like, no, but I trust that it's there. And there were like pieces of me that were already being shifted and already like alchemizing and moving. And within my inner child that was like, oh, I didn't know how to approach that. But I'm like, no, this is Jess. Like, I know that I can just have this conversation with you. And then like, so even in the process leading up to that, it was it was a challenge, but it was also an invitation for me to lean in and trust that energy there. And and it wasn't as if I was going to get in trouble because I said no, or I wanted to change my mind, or it was an adaptable relationship. And I really love that, because integrity is a very important value of mine. And so that like straight away was a like a confirmation to me that that was something that I was already able to to meet, and like, okay, this is the confirmation that I need. So that was like from the get-go, and that was before we even started working together. So it helped me overcome I'd say it more fully helped me implement the work that I'd already done in landing in my being, because I spent a lot of time in the mind space and, ethereal out and there, and not really, like getting used to feeling safe to feel what I felt. I spent a long time, like, playing in that space. So when I was doing the business work, it kind of pulled me back towards that mind again. Yep, okay, I get it, the mind space, I get it, but I need to have it felt through, and it needs to, be grounded in me. So that working with you really helped me to anchor that in, to have this, like, okay, well, there's the polarity here and that there, and how do I draw this in with all the other skills and knowledge that I already had? But it was just like the missing piece for me, was how do I do it energetically, and then also knowing that my business and what I do for people, first and foremost was in service to other people, but how the business wanted to, I guess, express through me as me, and that was really great, because then it shifted my mind space in the way that it allowed me to, take the pressure off myself, to be like in the driver's seat all the time, even though I am the driver. I am the driver of that, but it was just like, okay, well, I'm not at it. I'm not on it alone. I'm not here on my own. I have all of my energy, all of these things that I can work with. It's not just trying to drive her from a place of mindset, which I know, is powerful, but yeah, you need all you need all mechanisms on board and online. So yeah, I feel that really helped me to sort of re-anchor in my own energetics, and was a bit of a permission piece, I think, as well, to be like, no, I don't have to do it, that way. Yeah. It's really, for me, it was really a confirmation to know that there was a middle ground, because when I looked around all the people and the mentors and things that I had around me, and there's so many different ways and so many people telling you this is how you get to this many K months, this is how you do this strategy, this is how you do that, this is how you have this. And it was really about finding the middle ground. Okay, so it really just, like I said, helped me anchor in, affirmed to me that there was this middle ground that I can play in any and like the whole spectrum. And it really helped me, just further embed the trust that I had to lead myself. Yeah. And, and also, like the way I converse and have conversations with what is my business and how it wants to be expressed, that's definitely, that was a framework that I hadn't considered, to that degree before. Like I understood, like, what wants to come through me, what wants to work through me, but I hadn't considered it in a aspect of the business in that specifically. Yeah. Oh, yes. Well, yeah, I got a client that ended up paying for the whole time that we were working together, like literally like 3 days later. So, it was just like, oh, okay, yep, you're here. And it was almost unbelievable. Like at the time I was like, no way, it's bullshit, no way. Like, but it was there. And then I'm like, shit, why did I jib myself in the beginning? No, but it's really helped me understand like bandwidth and the capacity to, if I want to receive more, then, it's like this tethering of this trust. Yeah. And it really just it really was a driver for me to want more, and not want more from a place of like, oh, I need to have all the things. It was just like, I really want more of this connection. I want it to be like fully online. Yeah. You mean with you, or yeah? Oh gosh. Anyone? No, like I tell a lot of the people that were in, like, my peers, that I really love how balanced, and like I said, how balanced you are in that. Um I think it's best for people who are open to be curious to have their beliefs and their ideas questioned, that want to do things differently. And not to say that there are, like, that the other ways are flawed, just that it's innovative. And that for, people that are in the position that I'm in and my peers, that, first and foremost, we're in service to humans, to people. We want things to change. We want people to live their full expression of their life. For that to happen, we need mentors and leaders and, each other to do things in an innovative way. So it's definitely for people who are wanting to think of it outside of the other ways, the other options. Because it's a shift. And without using buzzwords like paradigm shift and all that sort of, woo words or whatever, you know what I mean? But it's a perspective shift. It's a shift in energetics. It's a shift in, the, like the things to change, you have to do it differently. You have to. Yeah, I was just going to say you have this ability to see. It's almost like the eighth sense, like it's like your own introspectiveness, that your like your energetic felt sense. That's how I want to call it, because like I pick up on energy and things like that, but it's like you already know that it's there, and it's just you have this way of bringing it in. That's why I was so drawn to you in the beginning, because like when I heard you speak, I was like, okay, that makes total sense logically in my mind. There's order there. It flows, and then there was like just this energetic, like it was like magnetism, like a magnetizing. And it was like this real, like calibrated stance of this, and you hold a really great like balance within you, even when you have your own shit going on, because you're a human. And I've seen you go through things. You feel like you're there, and it's a very nice place for someone who is still, learning there, at the place to sort of calibrate off, if that makes sense. Gosh, like go for it. Like trust the pull. Yeah, no, just like trust that whatever is going to be co-created in the space, like is meant to happen, is meant to be there. Yeah, and also you do things with such integrity, and I like fucking love that. You don't just talk to people because you want to be in their inboxes, or you have something, like you actually genuinely have connections and care about the people that you're working with. And I'm not saying that that's not a thing for everyone, but like it really, you're invested, and and you invite people to go in, and you go with them, and I love that.